There is a place where titles are not given, where power does not come from a roar, but from silent mastery of survival. The lion, the majestic symbol of the wilderness, is not always the one on top. Because in nature, some creatures don't need to dominate to make the entire ecosystem hold its breath. They don't threaten, they don't boast, but one step from them can silence the wild. Today we'll uncover 6 names without a crown, yet each powerful enough to make even the king retreat. Amid the scorched plains where trees collapse under the weight of the sun, a giant moves with slow confidence. The African elephant. It does not chase. It does not scream. It simply turns its head, and the ground itself seems to respond. Each stomp is a warning heard by every predator for hundreds of meters. No one taught the elephant to be terrifying. It simply is. With powerful memory, acute hearing, and a trunk strong enough to lift a tree, this is a creature no predator wants to challenge, especially when it's guarding its territory or its herd. Even the largest lion prides often choose to observe from a distance. During the dry season, when water holes shrink and territory becomes scarce, conflict becomes inevitable. Lions search for weaknesses, but the elephant doesn't move. It stays still, like an immovable stone in a rushing river. It doesn't need to show its strength. Its very presence speaks for itself. Weighing over 13,000 pounds and standing more than 10 feet tall at the shoulder, the African elephant is the largest land animal alive today. An adult can consume over 400 pounds of food each day and drink up to 26 gallons of water. And despite its size, its steps are nearly silent, thanks to the soft pads on its feet, allowing it to walk like a ghost through the wilderness. But its most extraordinary power isn't its strength, it's memory. It remembers where danger hides, where blood was once spilled, and where safety lies. When it returns to a place of loss, it does not forget. It marks the land, it avoids, or it reclaims. This is strategy. This is instinct. And in a world where survival belongs to the most aware, the one who remembers longest often lives the longest. There is no warning sound, no threatening stare. But when a rhino steps forward, every creature moves aside. With skin thick as armor and a horn shaped like a sword, the rhinoceros is a living warrior, not looking for a fight, but ready to end one if necessary. On the open savanna, where the wind brushes dry grass, the rhino arrives quietly. And that's what makes it dangerous. It doesn't stalk like a leopard. It doesn't roar like a lion. Its presence alone sets boundaries. If you step too close, you'll meet a charge strong enough to break ribs. Rhinos do not strike to take, they strike to defend. Their protective instinct is unmatched, especially around their young. Every step a predator takes is watched closely. There are no second chances for the careless. With unwavering presence, the rhino becomes a monument to caution, a living wall that guards its space and earns its respect. The white rhinoceros is the second largest land mammal, behind only the elephant. Adults can weigh up to 5,000 pounds and grow over 13 feet in length, with skin up to 2 inches thick. Its horns aren't just for defense, they're symbols of endurance shaped by millions of years of evolution. Though its eyesight is weak, its hearing and sense of smell are highly developed. Rhinos can detect unusual scents from hundreds of feet away, rotate their ears to track sounds, and react to even the faintest noise. And while they may seem sluggish, a charging rhino can reach the speeds of over 30 miles per hour, enough to knock down almost anything in its way. Rhinos don't seek confrontation, but when pushed to the edge, their response is not a threat, it's a final warning. One direct hit can be deadly, and the most chilling part, they do it with no expression, no sound, no hesitation, just action and silence. From a distance, the giraffe captivates with grace, its long neck reaching for the sky. But beauty can deceive. Beneath those patterned spots lies a body of power, sculpted by millions of years to endure the harshest lands. One well-placed kick can shatter jaws, fracture skulls, even bring down a lion. And when her calf is threatened, the towering mother doesn't hesitate. She spins, lifts her hind legs, and delivers a strike with no mercy. Yet giraffes don't seek violence. They live their way, elegant, silent, always watchful. Each high step is more than movement. It's a symbol of vision, both literal and instinctive. In a world ruled by claws and teeth, seeing first and reacting precisely is a weapon in itself. And for the giraffe, height is not for dominance. It's for survival. A silent warning to predators. I saw you before you saw me. Though gentle in appearance, giraffes are hyper-aware. They sleep little, just 4 to 6 hours a day, often standing, ready to flee at the slightest sign of danger. That rare blend of elevation, awareness, and reflex makes them one of the most untouchable beings in the wild. No towering frame, no blazing speed, and yet fear follows the hippo like a shadow. It doesn't roar, it doesn't chase, it waits, in silence that tightens the air. A mountain of muscle, weighing more than 3,000 pounds, rests just beneath the waterline, still as death. But stir it, and you awaken something primal, a force without mercy. A hippo's territory is not up for negotiation. They do not warn, they do not share, especially when a calf is near. What seems like an empty river is already claimed, and those who enter do not get a second chance. Even lions, lords of the dry earth, tread carefully along these waters. No growl greets them, only a cold stare from a pair of unblinking eyes hovering just above the surface. And if that warning is ignored, the calm shatters. The hippo erupts from the water, a battering ram of flesh and rage, jaws stretched wide, not to threaten, but to crush. It does not chase for pleasure. It strikes with purpose, to make one truth known: this is mine. On the rare day a lion dares take a calf, and the mother sees, what follows is not a defense, it is reckoning. A wall of flesh, a fury without sound. The hunter becomes the hunted. The hippo does not fight to win, it fights to remain. And in the wild, those who can hold their line need no crown to rule. Hippos are the third largest land mammals, surpassed only by elephants and rhinos. Adults can exceed 6,000 pounds, stretching over 13 feet long, but size is no burden. They are masters of water, diving, gliding, holding their breath for minutes, vanishing in muddy silence and re-emerging with force. Their skin bleeds red, not from wounds but from a natural secretion, a sunscreen, an antibacterial shield against the cruel African sun. They move in pods up to 30 strong under the rule of a single dominant male. On land, they may seem sluggish but provoke them, and they will surge forward at 20 miles per hour, turning earth and bone alike. They are among the deadliest animals in Africa, not from bloodlust, but because they guard what is theirs without question, without fear. And that, more than teeth, more than weight, is what makes them unstoppable. Not every predator hunts with speed. Some rule through time. And the crocodile is the master of waiting. It doesn't stalk all day. It waits for a single moment. One mistake, one lapse in focus, and then everything ends. The Nile crocodile can grow over 16 feet long, its body armored with scales and its jaws capable of crushing bone. But its true weapon is silence. It floats, still as driftwood, just beneath murky waters. And when a lion lowers its head to drink, a single lunge seals its fate. Not every attack succeeds. Lions are fast, alert, but a stray cub, a distracted lioness, can vanish in seconds. No growl, no warning, only a shadow and silence. The crocodile's power is not in brute strength, it is in position. It strikes from the place no one is looking, the border between life and death. And in a world where one misstep is all it takes, the crocodile wins with the first and only strike. Nile crocodiles are among the largest reptiles on the planet. They can exceed 16 feet in length and weigh over 2,000 pounds. Their bite force, over 5,000 pounds per square inch, is the strongest in the animal kingdom. Though they spend much of their time still, crocodiles can launch forward in bursts reaching speeds of nearly 20 miles per hour in short distances. Their bodies are shielded in armor, tough scales reinforced by bony plates under the skin. They also have special sensors in their skin that detect vibrations in water, allowing them to hunt without even seeing their prey. Crocodiles often hunt at night and can survive weeks or even months without food if no prey is available. They do not roar, they do not chase, they wait, and sometimes patience is all it takes to win. No claws, no fangs, yet the Cape buffalo is one of the few animals that lions truly fear. Not because of brute force, but because of unity forged like steel. A buffalo under attack is never alone. The herd turns back, and when it does, the hunter becomes the hunted. Buffalo live in large herds, sometimes hundreds strong. They speak with glances, grunts, and the rhythm of their steps. When one is threatened, they all respond. There's no time for hesitation. Lions have seconds before they're surrounded by a storm of curved horns. Buffalo don't rely on surprise. Their strength is in the synchronized charge. When they move as one, it's not for blood, it's for protection. A calf, an elder, the injured. Every member is worth saving. And in a world ruled by power, the buffalo reminds us, strength isn't always solitary. Sometimes it comes from footsteps in unison and voices that rise together. They live with tight social order. Herds can reach into the thousands during migration. When danger strikes, they form a wall around the weak, a living fortress no lion easily breaks. Studies show lions are far less successful when the herd stays close and reacts as one. Buffalo may not be swift or sharp, but they hold something most rulers lack: unyielding loyalty and a bond that cannot be broken. And in the wild, that can mean the difference between survival and being swallowed whole. In the wild, no crown is ever safe, not even for the lion. Power is not measured by noise, but by presence, by the ability to endure, to defend, to belong. The elephant clears paths without a word. The rhino lowers its horn, and silence falls. The hippo rises, and no one breathes. The buffalo turns, and the predator steps back. The crocodile waits, and the stillness becomes lethal. Even the giraffe, gentle and still, commands respect by the way it lives. Quiet, watchful, unwavering. There is no single ruler. Only those who survive and teach the wild to remember them. If this speaks to you, stay with us. Because here, we honor the stories written in instinct, etched in silence, and earned by survival.